team speech. And here to try to explain that is Bruce Bush.
Try to explain the tag team speech. It's called an oscillation between the two of them. We are going to start out with Dan doing a little opening to present Leo as the second part of the oscillation, and then they'll oscillate back to Dan to summarize or to close the speech. And what Leo will be talking about this morning is the importance of being a mentor, what he has learned about mentoring and how it has impacted things, and tell us all about it. So for this interesting oscillation of speakers, I'll take it back to you, Barry, to introduce them.
Okay. Thank you, Bruce. Well, according to Dan, this is going to be fun. This father-son duo has been in Toastmasters for 63 years combined. Both have earned the highest distinction in Toastmasters, the Distinguished Toastmaster designation. And over the years, they've learned a lot, including valuable leadership skills. Please welcome Leo and Dan in a speech they're giving together, Toastmasters, where leaders are made.
Where leaders are made. This is the Toastmasters motto, and as you'll hear about today, Toastmasters has helped make leaders out of my father and me. Dwight D. Eisenhower had said that leadership is the ability to get others to do what you want done because they want to do it. I really like this quote, and in fact, I would extend that a little further to be the ability to get others or yourself to do something. It's important to know that you can lead yourself. For example, let's say you want to go back to school and earn that degree. Sure, you can get help, and you probably will need help along the way, but it's up to you to do the studying, you to write those essays, and you to take those exams. That is demonstrating leadership because you are leading yourself. When I was younger, much younger, I was in Boy Scouts, and there are a lot of similarities between Boy Scouts of America and Toastmasters International. In Boy Scouts, you earn merit badges and progress through the ranks, and in Toastmasters, you do projects and progress through this path called Pathways, which you'll hear more about in just a moment. In Boy Scouts, the highest rank is Eagle, and in Toastmasters, it's Distinguished Toastmaster, or DTM. But those aren't the only similarities. Both organizations require things to be done. Organizing meetings, raising and managing funds, and most importantly, learning how to motivate others to do things, just like Eisenhower said. I'll give you an example. As a young leader in Boy Scouts, I had to try to convince the younger scouts that they needed to keep their camp clean and they need to come back to camp on time for dinner. That is not an easy task for rambunctious little kids sometimes. Another example is actually this meeting here. Barry's doing a great job as our Toastmaster. He's organizing the meeting for us, but it goes beyond just putting together a schedule. You have to make sure that people are prepared and come to the meeting and ready to go. Now, as actually Sarah Martin had mentioned earlier, we all oscillate amongst these roles from week to week. And I've been Toastmaster before, and I have to tell you, it has been a critical part of my professional path because I have had to lead meetings, and I can lean on my Toastmasters experience for leading those meetings. These are just a few simple examples of how even little actions we take with a goal in mind is leadership. Dad, you're on mute. I will ask you to unmute yourself.
Leadership skills are not learned, they are developed. But you can take that first step forward and ask yourself these questions. Do I want to be a better leader, a better communicator? Toastmasters offers excellent learning opportunities through a proven program, Pathways. This is one of the programs. In Pathways, there are 11 paths to choose from. Dynamic leadership, leadership development, visionary communication are just some of these paths that you can choose. Each path has its unique challenges and rewards. You choose a path that matches your goals. How do I learn to be a good Toastmaster? By a mentoring program. I have 3 stories to tell you. Mentoring, leadership, work-related. Before I tell you about my mentoring story, what is mentoring? How does it help you? Mentors provide mentees with help and practical advice, such as tips on how to prepare a speech, or perhaps on club roles and responsibilities, encouraging members to grow as leaders, offer the members, new members particularly, reassurance in those rough patches that they might happen. And here's something that's really great. Show the shortcuts and insights that help you become a better Toastmaster. Mentors are people helping people. My mentor story begins with my first start with Toastmasters in 1973. I became a Toastmaster in a club in Portland, Oregon. Blue Ox is the name of the club. But I realized soon after I joined Toastmasters, I needed help. I don't know how to give a speech. I don't know how to evaluate people. I needed help to learn how to prepare and do these things. Well, I had a mentor. The mentoring program came to my rescue. Fred was my mentor, and he guided me through the various parts of a weekly meeting. The Toastmaster program helped me with doing a lot of things, particularly some of the simple jobs as grammarian, all counter, word of the day, joke of the day. And he, Fred, gave me the confidence to give my first speech, the one that every Toastmaster gives when they join the club, the icebreaker, 4 to 6 minute speech, talking about yourself. You should know the subject. So that's not hard to research, but to give it sometimes is not easy. After that speech, I received applause and congratulations and notes welcoming me to the club as a new member. And I'll tell you something, I don't remember a word I said. But I did the speech and I was relieved. Several weeks later, I received another assignment to give another speech. Now, I was becoming a little more confident about standing up before a group and talking to Toastmasters. And I particularly remembered all the nice things that members told me in the notes and privately, how they liked my icebreaker. My next step, though, that I needed to do is grow in my leadership skills. But I was reluctant to be a club officer. I felt so unprepared. I can't do that. Fred gave me the confidence I could do that. Without a mentor, I would not have been able to feel comfortable doing things that I thought were so much beyond my capability. Mentoring prepares a member for leadership. It was the club's policy, Blue Ox, at that time, to promote leadership opportunities to all the new members. They became, and were encouraged at least, to become officers of the club, starting with Sergeant at Arms, Secretary, Vice President of Membership, all the rest. As president, I attended monthly meetings of my district that I was in, and I was then asked soon after that to be an area director. An area director is responsible for 4 or 5 clubs and lend a helping hand. Toastmasters gave me the opportunity to step up and try new leadership possibilities. My next story is about my own personal story with work. I am a retired engineer from Bonneville Power Administration, BPA. For over 30 years, I retired in 1999. Early in my career, my supervisor wanted me to travel to a field office and make a presentation of my project to the engineers of a public utilities district, a PUD, in the state of Washington. This meeting was very important. I had to clearly outline my goals and solutions to the PUD members, engineers. My Toastmaster experience gave me the confidence I needed to prepare my speech along with drawings and sketches, budget reports, and I gave my speech as if I was talking to my own Toastmaster group, following all the protocols I had learned in Toastmasters. I felt very comfortable, but I have to tell you, even though I was giving a speech that I was comfortable with, I had butterflies in my stomach. But Toastmasters taught me how to train those butterflies to fly in formation. The 2-hour drive back to Portland offices was a sigh of relief. I had done it. I'd given this speech. My boss told me how impressed he was with the way I handled my part of the meeting. I could not have done this without Toastmasters. The Toastmaster program taught me communication and leadership skills. Dan mentioned earlier that he had learned leadership and Toastmasters skills through Toastmasters and the Boy Scouts of America.
That's right, Dad. I feel fortunate to have learned from two great organizations, Boy Scouts and Toastmasters. I also agree that leadership is a skill that has to be developed. I feel strongly that we're all mentors and leaders, whether we know it or not. We lead and mentor by example. We lead and mentor by communicating. If you are interested in becoming a leader, a communicator, a mentor, if you want to step up and challenge yourself, then Toastmasters, where leaders are made, is the right organization for you.
All right, thanks guys.